Chris Brown stepped out of his private jet in Manchester, England in early 2025. The city was alive, with the sounds of people moving, crowds gathering, and the quiet anticipation of his arrival. Fans outside screamed his name, waving banners and phones in the air. Cameras flashed relentlessly, capturing every step of the world-famous performer. On the surface, it looked like another glamorous night for a superstar. Behind the polished doors of the hotel, a different story waited. A story that had been sleeping for 2 long years. A story connected to a night in London that would not leave him in peace. He entered the hotel with his entourage moving quietly through the lobby. Police officers were already on site. They approached him with a warrant. The warrant was connected to an incident that had happened in February 2023. A night that had begun like any other and ended in violence. He knew that the moment of reckoning had come. His arrest was calm, controlled, yet heavy. Cameras captured the moment, but inside, Chris Brown felt the weight of history pressing on him. The nightclub incident that led to this arrest had taken place in a London venue called Tape Nightclub in Mayfair. According to prosecutors, that night turned violent. Chris Brown was accused of striking music producer Abraham Diao with a tequila bottle. The allegations described multiple blows, followed by punching and kicking. The producer was said to be unconscious with serious injuries. The incident shocked witnesses and became the foundation of a criminal case that would follow him for years. After the arrest, Brown was brought to court in Manchester. The charge was causing grievous bodily harm with intent. The court was tense. The media attention was intense. The world watched as the superstar faced serious criminal allegations. Initially, bail was refused. Judges worried he might leave the country. His legal team worked tirelessly. After careful negotiations, he was granted bail. The conditions were strict. He surrendered his passport except for travel allowed for performances. He provided an enormous financial security and promised to appear for all future court dates. He was free temporarily, but only under strict watch. Chris Brown returned to London for further court appearances. On June 20th, he appeared in Southwark Crown Court. He entered a not guilty plea to the charge of attempting to cause grievous bodily harm with intent. Later, additional charges were added: assault occasioning actual bodily harm and possession of an offensive weapon. The tequila bottle was named as the weapon. Brown again pleaded not guilty. The courtroom was filled with supporters, media, and observers. Every eye was on him as he stood quietly waiting for the proceedings to continue. His trial was scheduled for October 2026, leaving a long period of uncertainty and preparation. The civil lawsuit and defamation battle. While the criminal case loomed in London, another legal challenge quietly unfolded. Abraham Diao, the music producer injured in the nightclub incident, filed a civil lawsuit seeking compensation for his injuries and emotional suffering. He described the pain, the fear, and the medical costs he endured. The lawsuit was tense and highly publicized. In June 2025, the civil case came to a quiet end. The parties reached a private settlement. The details were sealed and never made public. This closed one chapter, but did not affect the criminal proceedings. The state continued its investigation and prosecution. Chris Brown remained under legal pressure, even though the civil dispute was resolved. At the same time, another storm grew in the United States. A documentary titled A History of Violence claimed to show Chris Brown as a dangerous and violent man. The series repeated allegations that Brown insisted were false. In January 2025, he filed a massive defamation lawsuit against the producers seeking compensation for damage to his reputation. He claimed that the documentary presented false information and that it harmed his public image and career. The suit was one of the largest defamation lawsuits filed by an entertainer in recent years. The legal team argued that the filmmakers had ignored evidence that disproved the claims made in the documentary. They demanded accountability and the right to correct the narrative. This legal battle was not about physical injury, but about reputation. It was about the way the world viewed him and the control over his own story. The fight would be long drawn out and emotionally draining. It underscored how his legal troubles were not limited to the nightclub incident. They reached into media culture and the power of public perception. The global tour amid legal turmoil. Despite all these legal battles, Chris Brown continued performing around the world. His Breezy Bowl tour attracted massive crowds. Stadiums were filled with fans cheering his name. The shows were energetic, emotional, and polished. Yet, behind every performance, the shadow of the UK case loomed. On stage, he was a superstar, Offstage, he was a defendant facing serious charges. Every night brought applause and attention. Every day brought court dates and legal strategy. Some questioned how he could perform under such pressure. Others admired his ability to maintain his career. He moved carefully, balancing his obligations to his fans and his obligations to the law. The tour also brought attention to his brand. Breezy Bowl. Merchandise and concert promotions became central to his identity as an entertainer. This visibility added both opportunity and scrutiny. It reminded everyone that celebrity carries responsibility, and public image can be as important as personal safety. The trademark dispute, as if the criminal case and the defamation lawsuit were not enough. Chris Brown faced another legal battle in 2025. A Miami-based company called Breezy Swimwear filed a trademark infringement lawsuit against him. They claimed that the names Breezy and Breezy Bowl used in his tour and merchandise were confusingly similar to their registered trademarks. The company argued that fans and customers were contacting them, believing they were affiliated with the singer. They demanded that Chris Brown and his team stop using the names and destroy merchandise that included them. They claimed that his use of the brand names diluted their identity and harmed their business. For Chris Brown, the term breezy was more than a word. It was central to his persona and his brand. Losing control over it could affect his image and influence. The lawsuit became another layer of pressure as he balanced international touring and ongoing legal battles. His team prepared to fight the claim in court. Negotiations were considered, but the case highlighted how every part of a superstar's career can become subject to legal scrutiny. Even a brand name or merchandise can create conflict when it intersects with existing companies. The housekeeper lawsuit. Another legal front appeared when Maria Avila, a former housekeeper, filed a lawsuit against Chris Brown. She claimed that a dog at his residence had attacked her while she was working. The lawsuit demanded significant damages for her injuries. In early 2025, Brown relocated to Nevada. This complicated the case and created delays. Lawyers debated jurisdiction and deposition requirements. The lawsuit was less public than the London case, but still added to the growing pressure surrounding the singer. It served as a reminder that legal responsibility follows even the most famous individuals in every aspect of their life. Brown's legal team continued to manage multiple fronts. They coordinated criminal defense civil settlements, defamation claims, trademark battles, and personal injury suits all at once. Each case had its own timelines, requirements, and consequences. The cumulative weight of these battles made 2025 one of the most challenging years of his career. Life on tour amid legal storms. Despite the mounting legal pressure, Chris Brown pressed on with his global tour. Stadiums were packed with fans eager to see him perform. Every night he sang, danced, and connected with his audience. On stage, he projected energy, confidence, and skill. Off stage, he lived under the watchful eye of the law. Bail conditions dictated travel and required compliance with court orders. Every decision he made had legal consequences. His dual reality created tension, but also demonstrated resilience. The stakes, reputation, and redemption. By mid-2025, Chris Brown faced a complex web of legal challenges. The UK nightclub case threatened his freedom. The defamation lawsuit challenged his public image. The trademark dispute threatened his brand. The housekeeper lawsuit threatened his finances and personal reputation. Every move he made was scrutinized by the media, by fans, and by legal experts. Court dates, interviews, and public appearances became part of a delicate balance. One misstep could influence public perception or legal outcomes. Yet he continued to perform. He continued to tour. He continued to release music. For some observers, 2025 was another chapter in a career marked by controversy. For others, it was an opportunity to witness accountability and resilience. The singer's life became a study of fame, power, and responsibility. Every decision carried potential consequences, both personal and professional. Public perception and media attention. Chris Brown's actions and the surrounding events dominated headlines worldwide. Each court appearance became a media story. Fans and critics debated every allegation. Social media amplified opinions and rumors. Every performance was analyzed, not only for artistry but for its context. In his legal battles, the defamation case added a layer of complexity. It questioned the accuracy of media portrayals. It highlighted the tension between celebrity culture and truth. Chris Brown sought to reclaim his narrative and assert control over how the world perceived him. The legal system became not only a forum for justice, but a battleground for reputation and legacy. The road ahead. As 2025 progressed, Chris Brown prepared for the future. His criminal trial in London was scheduled for October 2026. The defamation lawsuit in the United States would continue. Trademark negotiations or court proceedings remained unresolved. Civil claims also required attention. The uncertainty created tension and suspense. It forced careful planning for both personal life and professional commitments. He continued performing while remaining mindful of legal obligations. Each day was a challenge. Each decision carried weight. Epilogue: the man behind the headlines. Chris Brown has always been a figure of talent, controversy, and resilience. 2025 was a year that tested him in unprecedented ways. The legal cases, the lawsuits, and the public attention created a landscape of challenge and opportunity. For some, he is a gifted entertainer who faced serious mistakes and legal consequences. For others, he is a symbol of the difficulties celebrities face when fame intersects with personal decisions. The months ahead would determine how history remembers him. Will he emerge strengthened and vindicated, or will the legal storms reshape his life and career forever? Only time would reveal the next chapter in the life of Chris Brown.